Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like there's a tense situation for the Russian Federation in Syria since the reformed jihadist is in charge, to a certain extent, of Syria under the command of, I would say, Pentagon and CIA. A Russian convoy, 30 trucks, were prevented to enter the Russian military base in Syria, in Tartus. Who gave this order? We're going to find out. So the Syrian military is so tough all of a sudden that blocked the Russian convoy from entering its own military base in Syria. That's the first topic. And the other one, Putin calls and speaks with a reformed jihadist in Syria. And what did they talk about? Let's see. Let's start with the first article coming from the War Zone. This article is from February 11th, 2025. Russian military convoy blocked from entering port of Tartus in Syria. And this is a picture. Now, just so you know, everything that these guys reported could be, not everything, but just be skeptical. That's all I ask. A Russian military convoy was reportedly prevented from entering Tartus naval base in Syria. This is the latest indication of estrangement between the two erstwhile allies. I never heard this word before. The move came amid the ongoing withdrawal of Russian forces from Tartus in the wake of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham's HTS sudden overthrow of dictator Bashar al-Assad. And he is what? A Democrat? And I'm quoting, the Syrian Defense Ministry has prevented the Russian military convoy from entering the Tartus base. The Turkish TRT media outlet reported on Tuesday, and I'm quoting, a column of 30 missile-armed vehicles that set out in the morning from the Khmeimimi air base in Latakia province was stopped at a checkpoint in Tartus by troops subordinated to the new Syrian government. After waiting at the checkpoint for 8 hours, the convoy was forced to return to Khmeimim base at around 5 p.m. local time. Video emerging on social media showed Syrian forces ordering the convoy to turn around and head back to their airbase. The trucks appear to be carrying missiles in their launch tubes. All right, let's look at the picture. I don't see any missiles on their launch tubes anyway, but this is what they report. Nevertheless, the point is they block them. So let's go and see why do you think these guys block the Russians? Now, is there an understanding? Is there a provocation? Personal assessment. The new Syrian government, I think, is owned by the same guys who owned the Ukrainian government. They're still owning it. So there you have it. Remember, for the Syrian army, the defense ministry, to say, no, Russians, you don't pass, that means you are very certain that the guys behind you have big guns. And that's not you. All right, let's move to the telephone call between Vladimir Putin and the Syrian leadership. Russia Today, the 13th of February. So that occurred right here on the 11th, right there, on the 11th, Tuesday. And we have this one on, what's today? Thursday. 13th of February. Putin talks to new Syrian leadership, the Kremlin announced. And here it is. The two sides had a quote-unquote constructive business-like phone conversation, Moscow has said. Russian President Vladimir Putin had held a phone conversation with the head of the Syrian administration, the same guy, AHS, for the first time since the fall of former president, not dictator, Bashar Assad's government, the Kremlin announced on Wednesday. Moscow supports Syria's unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, Putin told SHA, al-Sara, According to the Kremlin, the Russian leader stressed the importance of stabilizing the situation in the country and fostering dialogue among all ethnic, religious, and political groups in Syrian society. Blah, blah, tralala, lululu. And I'm quoting. Vladimir Putin has reaffirmed Russia's unfailing determination to contribute to the improvement of the social and economic situation in Syria, including through providing humanitarian assistance to its people, if asked. The Kremlin statement read, the Russian president also hailed the historically friendly relations between the two nations, where the guys in charge are not, let's put it mildly, which he said were, and I'm quoting, bound by the ties of mutual beneficial cooperation. Well, if you remember how the president, the leadership of Syria, the guy, how he entered Syria. So he was if I remember correctly, an ISIS guy. So he was part of ISIS, those guys that even the Americans bombed. All right. So he was one of those guys, and he was sent with 3 other people. I think there were 4 people entered Syria from outside Syria. I think it was from Iraq. I can remember if that's the case. Entered Syria with $50,000 allowance per month. Where did they get this money? From Saudi Arabia, from the Federal Reserve Bank. Where did they get it from? From Deutsche Bank? I don't know, London Stock Exchange? Where did they get it from? Not from Russia, not from Japan. All right, and they entered over there with an allowance of, it's about, $600,000 a year for 4 people. They entered over there to get acolytes, to pay them off and all that, right? To overthrow the dictator Bashar al-Assad. That's how that reformed jihadist, now it's called president and leader, right? That's how he got over there. So do you think that guy's going to remember, or he knows, I don't know if he knows or he doesn't know, the historically friendly relationship between Syria and, let's say, Soviet Union and Russia now? Who paid that guy to overthrow Bashar al-Assad, who was supported by Jesus Christ, by Putin? So obviously not his friend. So that guy, the VHS guy, the video cassette guy is not Putin's friend or Russia's friend. He's over there doing someone else's bidding. Now, if he's not with the Islamics, with the jihadists, who is he with? Work by elimination. Okay, so this is the, let me read further this little article here. All right. Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov, who led the Russian delegation last month, said at the time that the power shift in Damascus, and I'm quoting, that was last month. Oh my God, it's like years, light years, will not change the nature of relations between the two nations. It's not about nations, it's about this guy right here. It's not the nations. Are you crazy? This guy follows someone else's orders. I guarantee you that. Why? I'm 99% certain about that. Why? When you have the CIA coming to your office in Damascus and meet you, and the American delegation comes in your palace and talks to you, who the hell you think those guys are? The emissaries from your boss. You say, wait a second. The Russians did the same thing. Go and read. The Germans went over there. He didn't shake hands with the idiot Baerbock. Why? Oh no, it is Islamic. Oh yeah. You shouldn't even touch that thing. Anyway, my friends, the relationship, that's changed. The Russians probably little by little will be asked first to get the hell out. The Americans, did you hear anything about the American troops in Syria being asked to get the hell out? Or maybe their convoy stopped? No, why is that? You can't tell that to the master blaster. Anyway, what's going to happen in Syria, that's going to fall to the, maybe to the Americans. Because remember, this guy is not reliable. Not at all. So then the Americans have to get rid of him when he's going to become unreliable, or not unreliable, when he's not going to follow orders anymore. It's not only two interests, Russia and United States of America over there. There's the Turks, that's the Arabs, that's the Jews, that's, the Israelis. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.